Hi guys, welcome back to episode 3 of Slashing It with Matt. Today I want to discuss Scream 1996, okay? Basically the movie that started it all. So back in the 90s, Scream was pretty much a dying genre. Thank God Scream came by because they pretty much saved horror. In my opinion, ever since 96, Scream and every other horror movie has been a success. Horror has been a success ever since, in my opinion. There have been so many good movies after that, so many bad movies after that, so many movies just to have fun with. You know, some of the bad ones are good because we get to laugh at them. So I want to go into this. Scream opens up with Drew Barrymore, okay, who at the time was the most popular actress in this movie. So, you know, we're thinking, oh, she's going to survive this movie, you know, but why is she in the first 5 minutes? Well, no, she doesn't survive. She gets the call from the Ghostface Killer. The first time we hear that iconic voice, he messes with her for about 5 minutes, and then you pretty much find out, no, he's there to kill her. And that's exactly what he does. And that's how the first opening sequence, opening kill, ends, with her and her boyfriend, Steve, getting killed. So that makes us ask the question, who's going to be the main character in this movie? So with a great opening sequence, great opening kill, we go into the next chapter of this movie and we find out who is our main character. Well, that is Sidney Prescott. Now, the story basically focuses around her and her mother, who died a year prior. We have Gale Weathers, played by Courtney Cox, who is basically writing a story on this. Okay, Sidney doesn't like her. She thinks Gale is telling lies in this book, trying to basically say that Cotton Weary, who was accused of her mother's murder, is innocent. Sidney doesn't think so. So throughout this whole movie, they hate each other. They're battling. So that's basically what we're focusing on in this movie, okay? We have Sidney's best friend, Tatum Riley, who is the sister of Deputy Dewey, who is played by David Arquette. So movie basically focuses around them and Sidney's boyfriend, Billy Loomis, okay? So movie goes on. You know, everyone finds out about the murders, you know, everyone's kind of scared. Sidney gets a phone call from the Ghostface Killer as she's waiting for Tatum to pick her up. She thinks it's a game, you know, blah, 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 this and that. Then Ghostface Killer asks her, do you want to die just like your mother did? She's like, no, this isn't a joke. She slams the door. Ghostface Killer comes at her, attacks her. She runs upstairs. She does what she does to call 911. She does it on her computer. Ghostface Killer's gone. Okay? You see Billy Loomis come up through the window. She hugs him. She's thankful he's there. She's thankful she's not in danger anymore. Well, what happens? A cell phone falls out of his pocket. She looks at him. She's like, oh, no. He's here, right place, right time. He has a cell phone. No, it's him. She runs downstairs, opens up the door. It's Dewey Riley with himself holding up the ghost face mask over his face. Why he did that, I don't know. I think they're just trying to be funny. Again, she feels safe. Billy Loomis is in custody now. They're pretty sure at this point this guy is the killer. He was there. Turns out later in the movie, while Billy Loomis is in jail, she gets a phone call from the Ghostface Killer. At that point, Billy Loomis is released from prison. Life goes on. So at this point, we're like, okay, who's the killer? Who's the killer? Sidney's dad also becomes a suspect, okay? He never shows up at his hotel. He basically goes missing, okay? So we have the question, okay, well, it's not Billy Loomis, so Sidney's dad's missing. Okay, it has to be him. There's so many questions. There's so many things we don't know at this point. So we're like, okay, who's the killer, okay? Throughout the movie, obviously Henry Winkler, who plays the principal, he ends up getting killed by the Ghostface Killer. Soon after, we go into the third act, where most of this movie takes place, okay, at Stu Macher's house at the very end, okay? We're having the big party. Obviously, the killer's going to be there. He's going to show up. He then kills Tatum Riley through the garage door, which to me was a great kill. Not possible, but very creative, okay? And she's like, no, I want to be in the sequel, you know, kind of thinking it's fake, you know, saying, take off that mask, you're going to scare Sidney. But no, he was the real killer. Kills her. Then we end up getting a great chase scene with the killer and Sidney Prescott, you know, basically tormenting her for a long time. we get the death of Kenny, the cameraman, okay? So at this point, we're like, okay, all these people here, most of the people from the party have left. Who's our killer, okay? As you see, Billy and Sidney reunite. They're up in the bedroom, you know, doing their thing and everything. You know, she thinks everything's fine. Ghostface Killer attacks Billy, okay? Okay, you think he's dead, right? So we're like, okay, who's the killer here? Who's left, okay? So we come to find out, Billy comes down the stairs, acts all injured and everything, and then right at that moment, we find out Billy Loomis is the killer. But how? You know, the phone call was made when he was in prison, you know, and then we saw in the bedroom scene, Sidney said, oh, well, who was that, who's the one phone call you made? And he's like, oh, my dad. So, I mean, that still raised suspicion at that point, but you seen him getting killed. So we thought, okay, he's out of the picture now. Who's the killer? Turns out it was Billy. So we got to ask ourselves, wait a second. If someone attacked him, making it look like he died, then there has to be a second killer. So as soon as Sidney discovers that, she runs into Stu. She says, oh, Stu, please help me. But what does he do? He pulls out the voice changer and says, hello, Sidney. She then at that point knows there are two killers, Stu and Billy. So she's scared. They have a whole thing in the kitchen basically explaining why they did what they did. They had a motive, okay? Billy blamed Sidney's mother for her mother leaving because she was having an affair with Billy's dad. So that was their motive right there. You know, they were so obsessed with horror movies, this and that. They went crazy. They went crazy. And then on top of the whole affair, that's why he did what he did. And, you know, I mean, Stu, he said he did it because of peer pressure and that his mom and dad were going to be so mad at him, you know, when she said she already called the police. So, you know, I think they wanted to put some comedy in there, some not, but I think they did an amazing job with that. And then as we see, Billy ends up dying. Sidney wins, and Gail basically saves their life too. So you think, oh, they'll reconnect, they'll be friends. And going on in Scream 2, we see that's not the case. But yeah, so at the end of this movie, we have Sidney survive, Gail, Dewey, and Randy. Okay, Randy gets shot. We think he's dead at the moment, but he's not. Basically they finally put a bullet to Billy's brain. He's dead because they say they always come back. He sat up, shot him in the head. He's done. Stu, he got the TV thrown on his face. He's dead too. For the moment, threat's gone. Movie ends. But a lot of people say in their speculation to today that Stu is not dead and he could possibly be coming back for Scream 6 and a potential Scream 7, but we'll see. We'll see. But overall, I think that this movie was great. It was a good film. It started out, a great 90s horror film, trickling into Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, Scream 5, and the upcoming Scream 6. So they're doing something right, I'm a little sad that Neve Campbell will not be in Scream 6, unfortunately, but I still think they got a great plan for this movie. I still think it's going to be really good. So, we'll see what happens with that. So, I hope you guys did enjoy this review of Scream. And I'm sorry about my background. I'm still working on organizing some things, and I hope to get it, better as each video goes on. So, I do have plans for that. So, there are several movies I wanted to discuss for my next video, but I couldn't decide. So, I jotted down some movies, so I'm going to let fate decide what we talk about next. So, I have Halloween H2O. Definitely a movie I love. Okay, these are all movies I really like, by the way. Scream 4. A lot of people didn't like Scream 4, but I did. We also have The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 2003. And we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, which came to Netflix. earlier this year. We have The Black Phone, which just came out in June. Really like that. Love to discuss it. And last but not least, Friday the 13th, the remake, 2009. So that is another option. So like I said, we're going to let fate decide. I have my little pumpkin here. We're going to mix these around, and this is going to decide what movie we talk about next. So let's see here. All right. Who's the winner? All right. Scream 4. Next video, we will discuss Scream 4. Okay. That will be episode 4. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you guys subscribe, like my videos, and help this channel grow. I appreciate it. Thank you. See you guys next time.